beginnings of nuclear warfare started on the eve of World War II when physicists were realizing the potential new source of energy that could be achieved by being in control of nuclear fission. There were also many observers who realized that this energy could also be used to create a nuclear weapon. Many people thought that Germany would be the first to create an atomic bomb, as it had the scientists that were at the forefront of nuclear research. In 1938, Lisa Meitner, Otto Hahn, and Fritz Strassmann discovered atomic fission. However, they were content to continue research in their own laboratories and focus on the good of science instead of the importance of their research for the German war effort. Even furthering that, it is thought that the German scientists deliberately misled the military as well as downplaying the possibility of an atomic bomb because of ethical and moral grounds. Germany never organized a large nuclear weapon research project, nor did they put much engineering and production work towards atomic weapons. These factors led to their research being behind the U.S. Manhattan Project. The nuclear program in Japan was given very little emphasis. They thought it would be hard to finish during the war. Both the Navy and the Army were doing research, but neither even started production before the end of the war. The British effort towards the creation of an atomic bomb was limited. This was because many high officials, such as Winston Churchill and his scientific advisor, didn't believe uranium could form a bomb. However, refugee scientists with a few British scientists, as part of the Maud Committee, made breakthroughs finding that an atomic bomb was practical by 1943, and the project was then given the highest priority. Due to the downsides and unsafety of developing the bomb in Britain, they decided to work with the US and develop the bomb there. They decided not to include the Soviet Union in this research. The Soviet Union received many nuclear reports from its agents throughout World War II, but doubted the validity of the reports. They were also behind in research and production because the German assault destroyed much of their industrial base. In 1943, Stalin agreed to launch the Soviet atomic bomb project led by Khrushchev. Khrushchev determined that an atomic bomb was more reasonable than was believed. The Soviets lacked enough uranium to be successful, and real strides were not made until after the war and the acquisition of uranium from Czechoslovakia and Eastern Germany. Meanwhile, in the United States, the government started looking into atomic energy after Albert Einstein wrote a letter to President Roosevelt about the need. He created an advisory committee on uranium. 1 year later, FDR replaced the committee with the National Defense Research Committee. The research made little headway and would have been scrapped if not for the Britain's Maud Committee research. FDR gave approval to begin the development of the processing plants and other funding. The atomic bomb program began taking shape during the summer of 1942 under the name of the Manhattan Project. The project was incredibly secretive, while still employing 65,000 workers and having research spread across 4 laboratories, costing approximately $2.2 billion. The scientists were led by J. Robert Oppenheimer. The project took laboratory research into product development in 2.5 years, an amazing achievement. The first successful test of an atomic bomb took place at 5:30 a.m. on July 16, 1945, at Trinity, New Mexico.
After Germany had surrendered, Japan vowed to fight to the bitter end of the war. This also caused the Japanese to become even more dangerous and aggressive than they were before. In fact, the 2 months after Germany surrendered, they killed nearly half as many soldiers as they had the 3 years prior. This forced President Harry Truman to make a tough decision. Truman wanted to end the war quickly and decided to use a new tactic. He proposed the Potsdam Declaration to the Japanese, threatening prompt and utter destruction unless they surrendered. The Japanese refused, so on August 6, 1945, the infamous B-29 bomber, the Enola Gay, dropped the uranium bomb known as Little Boy on Hiroshima, Japan, destroying 90% of the city and killing 80,000 people immediately. Then, 3 days later, the plane called Boxcar dropped the more devastating plutonium bomb named Fat Man on Nagasaki, killing an additional 40,000. On August 15th, Japanese Emperor Hirohito announced unconditional surrender over a radio address, stating it was due to the devastation from the new and most cruel bomb.